Okay, hi everyone. I'm Josh. I'm the second negative. So the proposition is that the federal minimum wage should be raised to $10 an hour. I'd like to respond to their claim that the minimum wage has not increased since 2009 and has not increased in 5 years. The affirmative kind of makes it seem like there should be a scheduled increase, perhaps like once every 6 months. But we don't really know what the market's going to be like every 6 months, so why should there be a scheduled increase? The fact that they say that, oh, it's increased every 6 months ever since 2009, but it hasn't increased in the past 5 years, doesn't really make a good claim that there should be a scheduled increase. We don't know what the market's going to be like in 6 months, so increasing it, well, for example, if inflation actually decreases and there's an increase in minimum wage, I mean, wouldn't that mean it would be even harder for businesses to pay their workers? Let's see. The minimum wage, they also state that people who earn minimum wage should not be undergoing financial crisis. However, minimum wage should be for those people just to get by, not to be able to buy the latest iPhone or like to get a 2014 Sonata or any of that nice stuff. It's just to get by on what they have. Further, it makes it seem like you should be able to buy some things. They also state that their personal expenses are not well known. I mean, each individual person should know what their personal expenses should be like. So, I mean, that claim doesn't really hold up that well either. They also fail to mention a plan of action. Yes, they do say that the federal minimum wage should be raised to $10 an hour, but they don't provide an end date as to their goal for raising the minimum wage to $10 an hour. I mean, yeah, it's great. We can all say that, yeah, we could raise the minimum wage to $10 an hour. We can also say that we should eat 2 bananas a day, but they don't give some sort of timeline as to when should they actually increase the wage. We can agree with the affirmative about everything they say, but the fact of the matter is that they don't provide an end date. So if we do even approve the affirmative side, that doesn't mean that they will do it because there is no deadline. That's why we should side with the negative. They also state that they also make a reference to the hidden labor force, basically, which they define as hardworking employees with no job security. They say that that these employees should be paid more because it's the right thing to do. However, raising the wage costs jobs, and the fact of the matter is, if you think of a business and think of like its operating costs, raising their wages means that there are less opportunities for people to get jobs in that business. So if you raise their wages, that means you're going to have to cut some people, or you're going to have to cut some other way to make their budget work. I don't know. I'm not seeing how the affirmative is stating that. Yeah, we can raise the minimum wage, but still, I mean, we can keep the same number of people that are business employed. I don't see the correlation between that. In fact, I have statistics here that says Michael Hicks of Ball State University looked at the impact of the July 2008 minimum wage increase on unemployment rates in the United States and concluded that a 10% increase in the minimum wage results in a roughly 0.19% increase in unemployment. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but that meant the loss of 160,000 jobs. 160,000 jobs, and that's a lot of jobs, if I may say so myself. So let's see, what else did I miss? So yeah, that negates the fact that they said that increasing the minimum wage will actually increase employment levels. They also say that liberal economists, they also state that liberal economists say that many people will benefit from the minimum wage increase. But what about the conservative economists? They don't make any mention about other economists. They just say it on one side of the political story and not the other. I just want to know what the affirmative is going to say about those other economists who disagree with liberal economists. Let's see. They also make a mention about the EITC, which is the forgive me. The earned income tax credit. They basically say that that it's really hard to qualify for the earned income tax credit. But I mean, those rules are in place so that we know for sure that they are actually having a hard time. I mean, if I'm well off to do with everything that I have, and I don't make that much money. But if I would find it as an injustice if I signed up for the EITC and I wasn't struggling. Those rules are there so that people who are actually struggling, so that we make sure that those people who apply for the EITC are the ones who are struggling. I mean, the EITC wouldn't work if there were no rules at all. So yeah, basically the main point that I want to bring home is that most or all of the affirmative claims are something like true, but when it comes down to it, they have no end date. So that means there's no way for them to really enforce the affirmatives. So even if we do side with all the affirmative claims, they have no deadline. There's no way that we can actually enforce this increase in minimum wage. So.